Hello everyone, Calamity here, no longer allowed to make intro jokes apparently. Today's video is going to shed some light on what I believe to be one of the most underrated teams in all of Genshin Impact, but it is still a very strong team capable of doing all content in the game including Spiral Abyss. That team is called, I believe it has the name of Razor's Rainbow Team if you want to call it that, or Razor's Hyper Bloom / Burgeon Team. Whatever you want to call it, I like to call it Razor's best team. And we're going to do a guide, not just on Razor himself, but this is going to be a team guide where we talk about each individual character and how they sort of contribute to what makes this team really strong. So we're going to quickly go over Razor, Xingqiu, Nahida, or your Dendro of choice characters build, and of course Bennett. So let's get started. So the first character of the team is none other than our favorite wolf boy Razor. Razor in this team serves as the trigger for our hyper blooms and our burgeons. So when messing with those types of reactions, we want to build Razor with as much elemental mastery as possible. So that's exactly what we did. My Razor currently has 775 elemental mastery. This is without buffs, of course. So like characters like Nahida give an elemental mastery boost to her team as well, so it's a little bit higher than that. Of course, there's other ways of increasing your elemental mastery, like if I were to give Bennett a sapwood blade, that would also increase Razor's elemental mastery by a lot, but I'll be honest with you, I don't have that, so I'm missing out on a bit of damage. When it comes to the weapon though, we want the Rain Slasher. This is a claymore with a elemental mastery substat. Also, you don't have to get it to refinement 5. I just have a lot of these weapons sitting in my inventory, so I thought why not get it to refinement 5. This is going to increase the damage that opponents that are affected by Hydro or Electro take by 36%, which is a nice little bonus for Razor's own damage. Not so much for the... I don't think it makes much of a difference for Hyper Bloom. You might have to correct me on that, but regardless, Rain Slasher, good for EM. Now, when it comes to artifacts, you have the option of choosing which set you want to go for. I gave my Razor the Flower of Paradise Lost. You don't have to. Gilded Dreams is also going to be a solid set for Razor. Gives him a bunch of elemental mastery. As well as the Thundering Fury, also going to be a good option. Honestly, it just depends on what artifacts you have with some really good substats. So when you're looking at, Flower and the Feather, then obviously you're just going to want to get some elemental mastery as much as you can. And then that's going to be the main stat for the Goblet, the Sands, and the Circlet elemental mastery. Try to get as much as you can. Other substats will be like energy recharge. You can improve Razor's own personal damage by getting some attack percentage, some crit rate, crit damage, if you so choose. Constellations, mine's at C6, only because I've been playing this game since launch, so I've pulled a lot, and I've gone a lot of Razors in the past. Constellations are nice, as in they're going to increase Razor's own personal damage by a bunch, but they are not necessary for this team to work. Moving on to Xingqiu, he is built pretty much in the standard way. If you've watched my Xingqiu guide where I talk about it more in detail, it's the same thing here. He's just rocking the Sacrificial Sword. Artifacts are the Emblem of Severed Fate for more energy recharge and more burst damage. He is at C6, again, been playing this game for a long time, so I have a lot of Xingqiu pulls, and, just built normally. Now, Nahida, as I mentioned before, is the sort of flex option. I put air quotes, I can't do that with this VTuber model, but flex. She's, as we all know, Nahida is one of the best Dendro appliers in the game, so it's really hard to just replace her, but not everyone's going to have access to a Nahida if you didn't pull for her, if you just started, that's understandable. So Nahida can be swapped to other characters like Kirara, Dendro Traveler if you so choose, or Yao Yao even, for your Dendro application needs. Now the way that my Nahida is built, I did go all out on her banner when she was first released, so I do have her 5-star signature weapon. If you don't have access to this, then, something like a Sacrificial Fragments is going to be okay, or just anything that gives her more elemental mastery. And that's pretty much how I built her, just to give her as much EM as possible. She is rocking the Deepwood Memory set. This is going to decrease your opponent's resistance to Dendro by 30%, which does increase damage from Hyper Bloom and Burgeon reactions. She is at C0, but if you ever get C2, the damage of this team is going to skyrocket because you can create your Hyper Blooms and your Burgeons, which is insane. Last but not least, we do have Bennett here. He is going to be our healer, and he is at Constellation 6. And this is something important that I need to note here, is that you absolutely need your Bennett at C6 for this team to work. Why? Because at C6, he allows your Razor to deal pyro damage. He infuses his weapon with pyro, meaning his normal attacks do pyro damage. But Razor is a unique character in that when he pops his burst, he has that wolf stand behind him that also does attacks in synergy with Razor, right? But that wolf's attacks does not get converted to pyro, so at the same time, Razor is actually doing both pyro and electro damage at the same time, which is how we're able to do Hyper Bloom and Burgeon with Razor. And you absolutely have to have a Bennett C6 for this team to work, because there is no other way of converting Razor's attacks to pyro. Real quick, mention for the weapon again. Mine's using the Skyward Blade. You don't have to use this weapon. It just gives him a bunch of energy recharge, but a better weapon for Bennett would be a Sapwood Blade, which again, I do have it. It's just not leveled properly. This would also be a really strong weapon, especially at Refinement 5. This is going to give a ton of Elemental Mastery. You just got to make sure that Razor is the one to pick up the leaf when you do the elemental reactions. It's going to be a big damage boost there. What better way to showcase a team than to use them in Spiral Abyss? And we're going to do just that today. For Razor's team, we did put him on the second half of the Spiral Abyss. I do feel like this team is better suited for groups of enemies. Doesn't mean you can't use him for boss fights, of course. If you want to do so, you're more than welcome to. It's just a bit easier for him. And it's a bit more damage, right? Because you're doing Burgeon. And part of the reason Burgeon's so good is the big AoE it does when you explode the seeds. So, you know, without further ado, let's just do the Spiral Abyss, and we'll showcase how the rotation works, and you can see the damage for yourself. So we start off by applying Dendro with Nahida. Now, normally you would do Xingqiu next, but because these enemies are immune to Hydra, we don't need to. So we can go straight into doing damage with both Bennett and Razor. Do this. Oops. Just want to build up bursts again, so we're just going to try not to take too much damage, but there we go. Apply Dendro again. Now we can actually use Xingqiu here for damage, finally. We have our third teammate, or our fourth teammate. There we go. This crane thing can be annoying as well. I kind of messed up that rotation there. I was supposed to do Nahida's burst first, then Bennett's. But as you can see, our spinning wolf boy here was able to clear the first chamber with ease. We did lose a bit of power in the beginning because we couldn't use Xingqiu, but you know, once he's able to contribute his own damage, we made quick work of all three enemies on the second half of this chamber. Alright, this is the second half, and I totally forgot what's on this chamber. Let's go. Alright, let's get the Xingqiu burst ready to go, then Bennett, then Razor. And then we just do so much damage, all these words and numbers on the screen, which is fantastic. Making quick work of the Eremites here. Let's go ahead and just finish this guy off. There we go, then it's just these two. Alright, just trying to heal my Bennett there because he was kind of low. Alright, let's ended up wasting a little bit of our Bennett. Oh, let me heal there. It's okay, we have plenty of time, but honestly this chamber's not going as well as I would hope, but we still have plenty of time to kill this last enemy here. Just gonna get everyone's burst back again. So we do Xingqiu, Bennett, then Razor. And we want to get this enemy low, but not completely kill it. And we're going to save everyone's burst for the last chamber. Maybe don't use too much time though. Ooh. Alright, we might have to use a little bit of burst here just so we don't fail this. There we go. I just didn't want to... I didn't want to have to redo the chamber again. But that last bit was definitely not a good showcase there, but next chamber we got the dancing robot boss, so hopefully we can do better there. Alright, this is the last chamber, which features the new boss fight with the dancing robot, so let's see how this goes. This is going to be a good showcase for single target damage. Just trying to get everyone's burst ready, break that shield. Right now, big damage. We got all our bursts ready. Oh, got knocked away. Oh, we need a little bit more energy for Xingqiu, please. No. Wasted the burst a little. Unfortunate. Just gonna get hyper bloom damage here. No Burgeon. That's okay. That's more than enough to finish off the robots. Our Xingqiu is just a tiny bit short on energy to pop his burst in time, but that's okay. As you can see, easily destroys the Spiral Abyss. We got 3 stars on all of these second chambers. And that is going to be a wrap on my first ever team guide. What do you guys just think about the video? Let me know in the comments below if you have any comments or feedback or questions about the team comp. I'll be more than happy to answer them. But just an overall summary, this is a Hyper Bloom / Burgeon team comp with Razor. You need to have a C6 Bennett for this to work, and that is because you do simultaneously you do pyro and electro damage at the same time when you pop Razor's burst, allowing you to set off Dendro cores at really fast speeds because you're doing double damage. So that's why when you saw the combat gameplay, again, just so many numbers, so much text on the screen, it's hard to really calculate some sort of DPS other than saying it's a lot. As you can see, we're basically melting every single enemy, whether it be a group of enemies or a boss. It was dead in just a matter of seconds to at most maybe a minute and some change. But yeah, you can definitely get a lot more damage than what I showcased here today if you so choose. Really strong team. It definitely lets Razor once again be a relevant character, since he was mainly used as a physical DPS before, and well, he kind of gets overshadowed by characters like Eula, and unfortunately physical damage teams just aren't the strongest these days. And I think the team is fun to play and very strong overall. Let me know what you guys think. And with that being said, that's a wrap on this video. Don't forget to leave a like and or subscribe if you like this kind of content. I'll be making more in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.